Joe Wanders here. We're hijacking the signal this morning. This broadcast from the underground is not for the terminally online. It's for the aging out of the loop. The Gen Xers who still think Reddit is a dating app. The boomers who believe Discord is a punk band. And the legacy media who missed everything and the frog behind the curtain. This is a public service announcement, a reckoning of art, a warning for parents, pundits, and anyone who still thinks MAGA is a monolith. Because this morning, we investigate the Groypers. Who are the Groypers? Let's start simple. A Groyper is a cartoon frog, not Pepe, not Kermit, but a smug, slouched, wide-eyed, tracksuit squatting amphibian used by a group of far-right trolls who believe irony is armor and hate is a punchline. They call themselves the Groyper Army. Their general, Nick Fuentes. Fuentes is a white nationalist live streamer who rose to prominence by blending mean culture, Christian nationalism, and unapologetic bigotry. He's been banned from YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter until Elon Musk brought him back in 2024, saying, "It is better to have anti-whatever out in the open to be rebutted than grow simmering in the darkness." Axios, May 2024. But the darkness didn't simmer. It boiled over. The Groyper War with Charlie Kirk. Back in 2019, Fuentes declared war on Charlie Kirk. Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, had built a youth empire. College tours, viral videos, and a MAGA brand polished for mainstream appeal. Fuentes saw Kirk as a gatekeeper, a Zionist sellout, a traitor to the America First movement. Their tactic? Line up 50 deep at the mic. Ask increasingly hostile, racist, sexist, and anti-Semitic questions. Film the chaos, post it online. They called it a purity test. They called Kirk a fraud. They called themselves the real MAGA. Fuentes said Charlie Kirk is a gatekeeper. He's soft. He's fake. He's the enemy. Media Matters, July 2023. Kirk responded, "These extremists are not conservatives. They are racists hiding behind memes." Newsweek, September 2025. This wasn't left versus right. It was MAGA versus MAGA. A civil war of ideology, where irony masked extremism and memes became weapons. The shooting of Charlie Kirk. On September 10th, 2025, Charlie Kirk was shot dead at Utah Valley University. The suspect, Tyler Robinson, was 22 years old, a former Turning Point volunteer, a Groyper, or a Groyper sympathizer at the very, very least. Investigators found bullet casings etched with troll quotes and meme references, some dating back to 2005 internet forums. One read, "Hey fascist, catch." Another referenced Bella Ciao, a leftist anthem against fascism, now used ironically by the far right. Robinson's Discord logs were filled with Fuentes clips, Groyper memes, and posts calling Kirk a traitor to America First. The FBI confirmed Robinson consumed Fuentes' content and echoed his rhetoric. Nick Fuentes himself has admitted to his homosexual desires and a fascination for the furry community. These are incels who simply have a hatred for women. They even call them operators, a nod to their online war games, because irony and hilarious. Yeah, I know, it sounds weird. To the aging eye, it all looks like complete nonsense. To the radicalized youth, it became gospel. Mean culture and isolation. Boomers, Gen X, listen close. During COVID, your kids and grandkids were locked inside. No school, no sports, no structure, just screens. And the algorithm didn't feed them facts. It fed them fear. I repeat, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram created radicalization funnels. Each click taught the system to serve more extreme content. Turning Point USA monetized this pipeline. Kirk's videos reached 100 million people per month. His merch sold rebellion in glass straws, and slogans like raw, unpasteurized truth. Fuentes poisoned the funnel. He offered something darker, more absolute, more mythic. He told isolated teens they were chosen, that they were warriors, that irony was truth and truth was war. The dark corners of the internet, Groypers don't organize on Facebook. They live in the shadows, Discord servers, 4chan threads, Reddit subcultures. They speak in code. They meme everything. They believe nothing is sacred. Everything's a joke, even death. They quote early 2000s internet jokes. You mad bro? Epic win. Press F to pay respects. And especially the more long-forgotten meme quotes that were etched on the bullet casings. They use these phrases to mask hate, to confuse outsiders, to make everything feel like a game. They call mass shootings IRL trolling. IRL stands for in real life, by the way. They call racism base. They call empathy cringe. It's nihilism wrapped in nostalgia, coated in irony, lived like a game, and communicated through memes. And it's radicalizing your kids. Fuentes' tactics and motives. Nick Fuentes wants Charlie Kirk's market. He wants the youth. He wants the algorithm. He sends Groypers to disrupt events, to flood comment sections, to hijack hashtags. He uses humor as a weapon. He uses religion as a shield. He uses irony as a cloak. He's not just trolling, he's recruiting. Did he order an attack on Charlie Kirk? No, probably not. I highly doubt it. But the point is that the dark corners of the interwebs where they've found community allows this toxic kind of mindset and outlook on life to foment. Tyler Robinson had been a part of this group since at least 2018. That's 7 years of living in a perverse alternate reality where memes are life and nothing really matters. And I hate to break it to you, and I know it's difficult to understand, but it's highly unlikely to answer your questions with any kind of manifesto. There's no need for one. This is all one big joke. Foreign actors and the clown doctrine. Let's pull back the curtain a little further. Because the Groypers didn't build this circus alone. They had help from the shadows, from foreign actors, from adult extremists, from digital ghosts who speak in honks and hide behind clown masks. Russian troll farms like the Internet Research Agency were indicted in 2018 for election interference. They created fake profiles. They posed as patriotic Americans. They flooded social media with divisive memes, conspiracy theories, and massive coordinated trolling missions. But they didn't stop. They evolved. They learned the language of irony. They adopted the aesthetics of meme warfare. They began impersonating edgy youth, Groypers, gamers, trolls. They posted honk honk as a dog whistle, referencing Honkler, a twisted version of Pepe the Frog wearing clown makeup, used to mock empathy and celebrate chaos. They called it Clown World, a place where nothing is real. Everything is a joke, and the only truth is rage. From Germany, Australia, and Eastern Europe, far-right extremists joined the masquerade. They created burner accounts. They posed as 17-year-old boys from Ohio. They posted memes about based red pills and NPCs. They egged on American teens, encouraging them to disrupt school boards, harass journalists, and embrace accelerationism. Accelerationism, the belief that society must collapse before it can be rebuilt, a favorite among Groypers, neo-Nazis, and foreign operatives alike. These adults, some in their 40s and 50s, use Discord servers to role-play as youth. They used AI voice filters to sound younger. They used meme templates from 2008 to build credibility. They weren't just trolling. They were recruiting. They were infiltrating. And they were doing it right in front of your faces, with hunks. The clown world aesthetic became a Trojan horse. It looked silly. It looked harmless. But it carried messages of hate, nihilism, and radicalization. It mocked LGBTQ rights. It mocked racial justice. It mocked democracy itself. And it spread through TikTok, Instagram, Telegram, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts. Parents saw clowns. Kids saw community and trolling fun. Foreign actors and shady grown men saw opportunity. This infiltration blurred the line between satire and sedition, between youth rebellion and adult manipulation, between domestic extremism and foreign influence. Charlie Kirk's sanitized MAGA brand gave these actors cover. His algorithmic reach created the funnel, and the Groypers filled it with poison. So when your child laughs at a clown meme, when they say honk honk in a comment thread, when they share a video of someone screaming at a school board, ask yourself, who's behind the mask? Because it might not be a teenager. It might be a troll farm in St. Petersburg. It might be a neo-Nazi in Berlin. It might be a grown man in Sydney pretending to be your son's classmate. And they're not just laughing. They're recruiting. It's not all about the underbelly of gaming, memes, and nihilism. There is a mission. That mission is youth indoctrination. That's right, if you haven't figured it out yet. Everything MAGA has warned you about the Democrats, you should be able to clearly see by now that they were telling you exactly what they themselves were going to do. Just like the men they send out in their 30s to gaslight and indoctrinate impressionable kids and the inexperienced in life young adults, you too were bamboozled. The stats and the violence. I know it's boring, but we have to look at reality, the statistics, again. MAGA Republicans are 30% more likely to endorse political violence than non-MAGA Americans. That's from the UC Davis Center for Violence Prevention. Since 2020, there have been over 300 incidents of political violence, most linked to far-right extremism. Groypers disrupted over 100 conservative events in 2023 alone. This isn't fringe, it's systemic, and it's your kids. The reckoning. Parents, you bear a measure of responsibility. You trusted Fox News. You forwarded conspiracy memes. You too didn't take COVID seriously. You laughed at the irony. But irony metastasized. Charlie Kirk made millions off the algorithm. Nick Fuentes weaponized the fallout. Both built empires on youth confusion, fear, and rage. I repeat, this is not just about politics. It's about culture. It's about art. It's about the stories we tell and the platforms we reward. The techno-fascist billionaires. And now, the cherry on top. Because behind Kirk and Fuentes, behind the memes and the microphones, stand the techno-fascist billionaires and men in power. Men like Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and J.D. Vance. Men who bankroll youth indoctrination through these media empires, algorithmic control, and ideological funding. Fuentes himself bragged, "We don't have $50 million from Zionist donors every year, but we've got fans of the show that are children of billionaires, children of leaders in the country, in industry." Media Matters, July 2024. So what now? We must hold them accountable, not just with outrage, but with silence. No platform, no engagement, no oxygen. Do not share their clips. Do not argue in their comment section. Do not let your children wander into their echo chambers. This is a reckoning of art, of algorithms, of ideology, and it starts with you. The frog behind the curtain isn't laughing. He's recruiting. And the curtain? It's your screen. Stay vigilant. Stay mythic. Make your kids go outside to play. And for God's sake, teach your kids what irony really means. I'm Joe Wanders.